Hey friends, Rose here with a guide to the Month of the Mad God Interregnum dungeon. I'll cover how to get into it, how to beat the bosses inside. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends if this video helps you out. I'm also running a merch giveaway. If you're interested in that, check out the link in the description. But for now, let's get started with how to get into the Interregnum dungeon. To get into this dungeon, you need a key. You can't just use it like you can use all the other keys. First, you'll need to get 10 black coins, which drop from the Syndicate event bosses when they're in the realm. Then you'll turn those into the Tinkerer, or Shady Vagrant, for this event, to get one hidden Interregnum key. You then take that key into the realm, walk to the blue dot to find the Shady Vagrant, and then use your key. This will open a portal in the area around him, but be careful as only 15 people can enter this before it disappears. Once you are in the Interregnum, Blackblade Ozkuchi appears. The first phase consists of bullets circling around Ozkuchi in two different directions, similar to the Forgotten King in Shatters. To get through this phase alive, rotate while moving into the gaps. If these shots hit you, they will quiet you and do 120 armor piercing damage, so watch out, try not to eat more than one. At 60% HP, Ozkuchi summons Izel the Grand Shaman. This phase is similar to Celestial, with Heaven's Beams creeping inward, and the boss rotating around the center of the room, firing shots outward. The beams have a long cast time, so moves past them when it's safe, and the further out you are, the easier it is to dodge the spiky shots. Also note that the crescent shots go out and then boomerang back in. When Izel the Shaman gets to 30%, Ozkuchi becomes vulnerable, and when she is brought to 30%, the next phase starts. All of the other Syndicate mercenaries will be summoned, and then they will begin rotating around the room firing off strings of knives, while the Pirate King sits in the center, Pirate Queen sits in the center firing off AoEs. The daggers do 120, and the flaming skulls from the Pharaoh do 100, so if you have to choose one, tank a skull over a dagger. In addition to this, the AoEs do 150, so dodge them with high priority if you can. In this phase, you'll need to take the Pharaoh down to 30%, and then the Pirate Queen will become vulnerable, and you need to take her to 30% as well. If you can stay near the center of the room, it will give you more escape options in case a boss rotates near you, because when you get to the edge of the room and a boss rotates to you, you just have to nexus or die. As soon as this phase finishes, pot up to max HP, as next is a mini Patience. If you've never done Shatters, Patience is a phase where you are sickened for 30 seconds and have to dodge a ridiculous number of shots. First, the room will shrink, and then the bosses will begin to fire shots. Red shots do 80 armor piercing and cause you to bleed an additional 80 HP over the next 4 seconds, although the bleed won't kill if it brings you to 1 HP. The purple shots do 50 armor piercing, so you have to choose one to tank, eat the purple shots. In this phase, you have to hit all the mercenaries, bringing them down to 1%, starting with the outer 3, and then finishing with Ozkuchi in the center. By the way, the purple shots come from all the mercenaries, and they just go straight out and continue forever, and the red shots come out from the portals, before boomeranging back in, so watch out for that boomerang as it has killed more than one of my characters. After you beat mini Patience, the mercenaries will all flee, and the Wanderer will come out. The Wanderer will call out a phrase and then attack based off of that phrase, swapping phases a total of 5 times. The most dangerous phase is Ram Through. The Wanderer will sit in the center firing lots of daggers, while shades rapidly fly in from the edges of the screen with daggers in front of them. It is very, very easy to get caught by these charges, so watch out. Make sure your speed is high enough before you get in here. If the Wanderer shouts dodge this, they are going to send out 4 massive daggers in a cross shape that can one-shot you, so stay back for the start of this phase. After a moment, those daggers will start to rotate around the room, and you use the same trick of moving in and out and rotating with, like we did in the very first phase of the fight. If the Wanderer shouts Shade Step, stay away from the edges of the room, as a lot of shots will come out of the corners, and the Wanderer circles the center, firing blasts of daggers. If the Wanderer shouts Sword Flurry, prepare for a phase similar to Miasma. They will fire 3 lines of axes that you don't want to cross, while flooding the screen with other projectiles and creating a ring of swords roughly 6 tiles away, so stay inside of that range to avoid that damage. The Wanderer says, "Running away, cowards! They are about to do a chase phase, so be ready to run." Also, be very wary of the purple shots in this phase, as they boomerang back in, they do 180, and apparently are also double stacked even when you can only see one shot. This creates the potential for 4 stack shots when you only see 2, which can absolutely insta-pop you if your armor's low and your HP's low. Once you make it through 4 or 5 of these phases, the Wanderer will heal to full and begin a new attack similar to Dama's Sun phase. This attack sees them sit in the center of the room, throwing out sword hilts that do AoE pulses wherever they land. The circling portals also fire shots all over the place. At 25%, the Wanderer begins firing the rotating axes like Miasma again, which forces you to rotate through the shots or simply eat an axe every few seconds. I haven't determined which is better. But if you're closer to the center of the room, it will be easier to rotate with, just like in Miasma. Once you finish this phase, congrats, you've beaten Interregnum. If this video helped you, make sure to like and subscribe, and consider sharing this with your friends who haven't completed Interregnum yet. I've also got a giveaway running for free merch with a link in the description if you want more info. With all that said, thank you for watching, and best of luck defeating the Syndicate. Keep beefy, boys. I'll see you next time.
Hello there.